working with you in regards to trauma you've experienced. Before we get started, I wanted to let you know about client-clinician privileges and the limits of confidentiality. Anything you share with me will remain confidential. However, I am obligated to break confidentiality in the event that you share an intent to harm yourself, someone else, or child abuse. Do you have any questions about the limits of confidentiality?
Nice to meet you, Dr. K. Well, I mean, you're going to do what you got to do, and if you have to report, you have to report. That's your job. I understand.
Okay. So the timeline for this type of treatment is typically 8 to 16 sessions. But of course, if you feel like you need more, I'll be here for you.
Okay, that's chill.
Great. Here's the form to consent to treatment. I just need your signature and date at the bottom.
What am I signing? Where is this going to go? And how do I know you're just not taking my rights away? I don't even know you that well.
Okay. That's a great question. I understand that you had your rights infringed on you as an inmate, and that can make you weary of signing documents that you may not understand. And I want you to know that it's not my intent to ever take away your rights. My priority is working with you so that you feel comfortable. This document is just a consent to engage in therapy. Therapy is completely voluntary, and this is a form that just confirms that. If you prefer, we can talk a bit more first, and I can answer any questions you may have.
All right. Just because I signed this doesn't mean that I'm going to last all sessions. If that's okay.
Okay. This is your process, so we can end whenever you like, even if that's not 8 to 16 sessions. I'm here to help you along the way. So let's get started, and we can stop at any time.
So I stand just right here?
Yeah. So tell me what brought you in today.
So you know I have to be here. I've been locked up for the past 4 years, and this is part of my parole deal. I just have to come talk to you.
Okay. It sounds like maybe you're a little skeptical, and that's all right. If you're comfortable, I'm going to ask you some questions about how you've been doing since you've been released from jail.
That's fine.
Okay. So since you've been released, tell me about how you've been sleeping.
How I've been sleeping. I've been trying to sleep, but I mean, it's a new environment since I've left solitary confinement. I mean, I'm in new surroundings now that I'm living at my mother's house. I'm just getting used to it because I'm not used to it. And
okay. Do you find that you have trouble sleeping, or that you have trouble falling asleep, or that you fall asleep but then you can't stay asleep?
I would say that I have probably more problems trying to fall asleep.
Okay. Do you have upsetting memories about being in solitary confinement that kind of keep you up and pop into your head?
Yeah, every night.
Okay. So do these thoughts turn into upsetting dreams about being in solitary confinement?
I have these vivid dreams. Like, I think back of me being in my cell, and every noise I hear, I think it's the guards banging on the door, telling me the food has arrived. I wake up in sweats, and I don't know where I am because I'm so used to staring at the same 4 walls for 23 hours a day.
Wow.
Do you hear that? That's the kind of banging that I used to hear.
Wow, that sounds really difficult. So how often do these type of dreams happen to you?
2 to 3 times a week.
That sounds really difficult. Okay. Some people who have been in solitary confinement sometimes have flashbacks when they relive an event and may even feel or act as though that event is happening again. Has this happened to you?
Yes. When I was locked up, I used to hit the wall with my fist. There was nothing else I could do. There was no other outlet, and no other outlet for my anger, so I would just punch the wall till my knuckles were bloody. Now I see myself continuing this trend now that I'm at my mom's house, and I'll hit the wall at my mom's house. I did that the other day, and control and I was filled with so much rage inside of me.
Wow, that's a great insight into how you're dealing with rage and recognize, get you upset like that?
When I was in there, it was silent for except a dripping faucet. And with that dripping faucet, it had this really specific rhythm that became the only thing I heard all day sometimes. It would drive me crazy. And recently, at my mom's house, the bathroom faucet began to drip, and I started to freak out, thinking I was back in my room. I could feel the concrete, and I could smell the toilet. It was a terrible experience.
Wow, and I'm sure that led to some of you trying to express your rage in this way that has not been helpful for you in the past.
Yeah.
Do these reminders of solitary confinement make you tremble, break out into sweat, hyperventilate, or have a racing heart?
I hate that place, and I'm never going back.
Let's make it so you don't have to. What symptoms do you specifically experience of these?
Just thinking about being locked up in a cage makes my heart beat even faster. I feel myself getting angry.
Do you try and block out thoughts or feelings related to trauma you experienced?
Yes. I get wasted. When it becomes too hard to think about my situations, I'm probably down a 40 or 2.
Okay. Do you try to avoid activities, situations, or places that remind you of being in solitary confinement?
Yes. Like when I go pick up my little brother from daycare, I always take the stairs because the elevator just freaks me out.
Do you avoid people who remind you of it?
Do I avoid people? Yeah, you could say that. Those sheriffs in prison.
Is it hard for you to talk about it?
Yeah, because, I'm not used to talking to people, and I've had to deal with everything on my own for the past 4 years, and even before I got locked up. I just usually spend most of my time alone, to be honest.
Are there aspects of being in solitary confinement that you don't recall?
Yeah, I blacked out a few times. Like, for example, let me think of something specific. When they would do cell extractions.
Yeah. From what I've heard about cell extractions, they're pretty traumatizing, and I'm really sorry that you had to experience that. Some people who have been in solitary confinement have very negative views of themselves, and others in the world in general. Is this true for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe that you're a bad person?
I don't believe I'm a bad person. However, I've been felt by society that I'm a bad person. And especially living in those cells.
Okay. Do you believe the world's a dangerous place and that no one can be trusted?
The world is a dangerous place. It's also an unfair place. And with saying that, I guess I don't trust anyone.
Okay. That was part 1 of our sessions, and I'll see you here tomorrow. We can start again.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, Jenny. Nice to see you again. How's everything going today?
Not well. Yesterday and last night I yelled at my mom, and that's something I've never done before.
I'm sorry to hear that. I know that you're going through a hard time right now, but bouts of anger are a normal reaction to the type of stress that you'd endured. Would it be okay if we talked about your time in solitary confinement? I would like to give you some information about the things you may be experiencing and what you can do while you're here in treatment.
Yeah, I'm not used to being around people, so now that I am, and I'm out in the world, I just get so overwhelmed. When something feels out of my control, my first reaction is to hit the wall.
That sounds scary, but I want you to know that these reactions are actually normal. Often people who've been in solitary confinement experience symptoms of visual and auditory hallucinations, insomnia, paranoia, hypersensitivity to noise, touch, aggression, uncontrollable rage and fear, depression, and PTSD, which I believe you might be experiencing.
I have all of those.
Well, not necessarily. This is what we're going to explore together. But even if you experience a lot of these symptoms, we can work it out through treatment. Many people do recover from PTSD. Treatment is beneficial for many people, and it helps to alleviate symptoms and enhance day-to-day functioning and well-being.
I mean, I want to do whatever it takes to get rid of my symptoms. So if that's the case.
Okay. Well, that's great to hear that you're motivated for treatment. I want you to know that there will be reminders that you will encounter that will trigger memories of being in solitary confinement.
Okay.
Okay? You think that's true?
Yeah, you're right. I believe so.
Okay. Being in solitary confinement is a unique experience that can be very traumatizing. Humans are wired to have contact with other people, and this form of punishment is ineffective and harmful. These symptoms you are experiencing, such as anger and aggression, are not your fault. It's not your fault that it is hard for you to socialize after no human contact for so many years. Okay, so I'd like to give you some information on post-traumatic stress disorder. Ever heard of that? Something I was bringing up before. Abbreviated to PTSD, it develops after a terrifying ordeal from a variety of traumatic events. People may experience flashbacks, feeling numb, or can be easily startled.
Sounds like something that I have.
Yeah.
What can I do?
Okay, well, practicing and implementing positive coping skills would be a crucial tool during and after treatment. And I think we'll start that in your next session.
Okay.
Hi, Jimmy. Good to see you again.
Hi, Dr. K. It's nice to see you, too.
Okay, over the next few sessions, we're going to be talking in detail about the trauma you experienced. This can be very hard for people. We'll go over some relaxation techniques that you can use here and outside when things are getting overwhelming.
Okay. I mean, I want to do anything that helps me cope with my symptoms.
That's great to hear. I commend your bravery and motivation in dealing with this. And I know that this could be hard. These relaxation techniques will help you ease the physical symptoms you may be experiencing, like a racing heart, sweating, or an upset stomach.
Or really? You could do all of that without medication?
Yeah. Let me run you through a trial progressive muscle relaxation and see if it can work with you. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Well, let's try this progressive muscle relaxation. First of all, close your eyes. Focus on your breathing and try to be present. Let's start at the top of your body. Think about your face. Now, tighten all of your face muscles, all the muscles in your face, tighten them at one time. Squeeze them as tight as possible. Now, think about how that feels. Think exactly how you're feeling in that moment. Now, release those muscles. Now let's think about your neck. Now tighten all of those muscles on your neck. Tighten all of them as tight as they can. Think about exactly what you're feeling right now and focus on your breathing. Okay, relax. Now, we've gone through a muscle relaxation for all parts of your body and your whole body, and we've relaxed them. This is about teaching you to be present in the moment and understanding and gauging how you're feeling in those times and understanding that it is possible for you to relax right at that moment and feel that loss of control or aggression. I think you did a really great job today, and let's come back for part 4 tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Hey Jimmy, how's it going?
Hi, Dr. Coles.
Hey, so let's get back into this about trauma. Experiencing a trauma, which some as you have endured, can cause someone to have floods of emotion at once, and sometimes they express these emotions in inappropriate ways. It's important to be able to identify these that you are feeling so that you can appropriately express yourself in the future. Okay? When people with PTSD are faced with reminders of trauma, it can be hard to stop these thoughts from happening. Is this true for you?
Probably.
So something that might help you deal with this fear is thought interruption. Let's make a list together of some things that you can do in a moment to stop the thoughts that you are having. For example, if you have a terrible thought about cell extraction while you're just sitting in your room, what are some things that you do to make you feel calm in that moment, to distract you and stop those thoughts from happening?
Well, I do enjoy reading, and I have picked up a new book from Barnes & Noble. I also like watching music videos on YouTube, and I also like taking walks around the block.
Okay, that's a great start. So next time you're having trouble stopping a memory from a plane, you can try these techniques to stop this type of thinking. If you find you're unable to stop these thoughts and feel you might hurt yourself and need to come up with a plan to keep you safe. So I have some numbers for some crisis lines I can give you. Do you think that you will call them if you feel like you want to hurt yourself?
Yeah, I'll call them.
Oh, here, take that right now.
Thank you.
Okay, but remember to focus on this list, and that's going to be some of the things that can distract you from having some of those traumatic thoughts pop back up in your head again.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Jimmy. How you doing?
I'm good, Dr. Colas.
Okay. Today I want to talk to you about cognitive behavioral therapy and how our thoughts can affect our feelings and our behaviors.
That sounds cool. Do you think you could tell me about CBT and how CBT will help me as a person?
Mm-hmm. So CBT is a type of psychotherapy in which we challenge the negative thoughts that come up for you. By challenging these thoughts, we will be able to improve the depression you're feeling and challenge some of the unwanted behaviors you're exhibiting.
That sounds nice. I hope it works.
Okay. So one way that we can do this is start by practicing reframing your thoughts. And I think keeping a thought log is a good way to start this.
A thought log? I guess I can keep one as long as it helps me towards my symptoms. What do I have to actually do with this?
Okay. So the whole point of this is to assess what you're thinking about and try to reframe them in a different lighting. What we would do is we'd start by keeping a log when you're upset. So first I want you to write down the facts of the situation. Say exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. After that, I want you to write about how you felt about the situation. Next, I want you to write down how you reacted. What was your behavior in that moment? After that, you write down a few different ways that you could have dealt with that situation and thought about that situation. After that, you write down these different ways of thinking about the situation and how that made you feel. How did you feel doing this exercise? Let's start with an example. You said that you've been snapping at your mom lately. What is that she does to make you so upset?
I guess you can say she's very clingy. She's always wanting to know what I'm doing. And I mean, it's kind of hard because being locked up for 4 years, there was no one there for me, so it's just a sudden change that can trigger me.
Okay. So you say that you feel like your mom is pretty clingy and it makes you feel like kind of weird because you haven't been in this social interaction in a long time and you don't know where she's coming from with this, and so you snap at her. So what I'm trying to do here with this reframing of your thoughts is to show you that there's another way to think about this specific situation, and that actually we could reframe this negative instance and think that it's possible that your mom is clinging to you because she's trying to care for you, and you've been gone for such a long time, she wasn't able to protect you in that situation when you were in prison. And so now she's here because she cares about you and she's concerned for you and she wants to do what she wasn't able to do in the past. And so now, trying to reframe how you think about that, instead of snapping at her, understand where she's coming from and reframe this negative situation in a positive light, and like reimagining how you could have acted in those situations. Does that make sense?
It does, and that's something that I should try out. Because
Okay.
maybe that's not her intention.
Yeah, well, let's try this reframing, and then we'll come back and start some other techniques.
Okay.
All right.